at GolfPass, I'm Nathalie Sheehan, and this Golfer's Guide is all about mastering bunker play. If you struggle with any type of bunker shot, you're in the right place. In this series, we'll break down every key bunker situation, give you a drill to fine-tune your technique, and finish with a fun game to help reinforce what you've learned. Let's get started. We're kicking off this guide with a generic greenside bunker shot, and there are some things that I'm going to tell you that are going to make this shot so much easier for you. This is another shot that I think people make much more difficult than it needs to be. You do not need to necessarily open the face a ton and swing way across the golf ball with a lot of speed. I think that makes it a lot more challenging for most of us at home to hit successful greenside bunker shots. So I'm gonna run you through how you can get started. We're gonna experiment with some different things because everybody swings different. Everybody has different club head speed and tendencies, and so you might find something works better for you than works for somebody else. So let's start with our setup here. For a generic greenside bunker shot, I've got my 60-degree wedge. We're gonna use that loft. It's got lots of loft on it already, so I'm gonna start with the face square. We don't need to open it up unless we have some sort of special situation. So I'm leaving it square, and I'm just gonna point it right at my target. Our goal is to hit underneath the ball. You hear people talk about hitting 2 inches behind the golf ball or hitting closer to the golf ball. I just want you to picture that we are actually taking the sand from underneath the golf ball, and that is going to help you be very successful here. So to do that, I'm gonna put the ball in line with my left chest, so a little bit forward in my stance. My stance is wider than full swing. I am then going to dig my feet in. So everything I'm doing is helping me get lower to the ground so that I can hit underneath that golf ball. This should be the easiest shot in golf since we don't have to actually hit the ball. My last piece is I'm actually gonna sink down into my legs a little bit to even lower my body. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure in my front foot as well. We don't need to be leaning all the way over there, but I'm pushing into the ground as if I'm squishing a bug under that foot. Now, when I swing, I'm gonna feel like my hands and arms are very, very loose, and that's important to allow the club head to swing, because when we hit this shot, we're trying to release the club head underneath that golf ball quite a bit with our hands and wrists. One cue I use with a lot of people is swinging the club from your right ear to your left ear. It makes it very easy to be a little bit steeper on these shots without thinking about changing the path of your club and swinging way out and across that golf ball. So let's go ahead and test this out. Ball is forward. I'm getting down nice and low, swinging ear to ear with loose hands and wrists. And that is just perfect. Lots of spin. That might even go in the hole. That is unbelievable. First bunker shot of the day, and we hit it in the hole. I'm a pro. We're ready to go. We're ready to take it on tour. So let's work on a couple of other drills to help us hole out more bunker shots just like that one. I've got a tee here in my pocket. This is another great visual for everybody. You're actually going to tee up the ball in the bunker. I'm sticking it, so the tee should be, the ball should almost be touching the sand. It's very teed up very low there. And the visual I want you to have is that you are trying to break the tee from underneath that golf ball. In order to do that, you need to have very fluid, soft hands and wrists. If we are tense and nervous and locked out, which I know some of us tend to be in the sand, it's very challenging to let the club head swing underneath the ball enough. So with looser hands and wrists, I'm able to have that feeling of the club head passing my hands or the handle of the club, and I'll be able to chop that tee out from underneath the golf ball. So let's test this out here. Good. So I carried that one a little bit of a longer way, but because I hit that tee out from underneath the golf ball, it had a lot of spin, which helped it stop very quickly. Now, that ball carried a little bit of a longer way, which brings me to our next game that I would like all of you to try out, and that's red light, green light. Everybody's gonna need to feel different variations of speed in the sand. I like to utilize speed and tempo in the sand to carry the ball a longer way or a shorter way. So for myself, if I have a closer or a shorter bunker shot, greenside, I'm gonna feel slower tempo. I'm always taking that big swing, but I'm gonna slow down my overall tempo to hit it a little bit shorter and softer. And I'm going to add some speed to get the ball to carry a longer way. But what I want you all to do at home to find what works best for you is hit one ball, I would say red light, which is really slow, one ball yellow light, medium speed, and one ball green light, which is fast, and see which helps you hit your best shots. It might even be different from day to day, so great way to warm up before you hit the golf course. Let's test this out. We're gonna go nice and slow to start out with. So that was great. You can see that just carried out of the sand for me. Our next one, we're gonna go kind of medium speed here. That carried a little bit of a longer way. And our last one is gonna be a little bit faster, and this should carry probably closer to where the flag is. A little bit behind it there, but that's just fine. So mess around with those 3 different speeds and play that game so that you can see what works best for you. Again, some players need to have more speed in the sand. If you have lower club head speed in general, you might need to feel that you go a little bit faster. But again, for better players sometimes, or people with more club head speed, especially those of you who have been told to hit it really hard or swing fast in the sand, that can actually cause more harm than good sometimes. So find what works best for you. Our final greenside bunker game we're gonna play here is I would have you hit 5 golf balls, put yourself to the test, and see how many out of the 5 you can get within 6 feet of the hole. That's gonna give you a great chance at getting up and down and shooting lower scores. So I'm gonna hit just a couple out of my 5 here. We'll hit 2, and let's see how close we can get it to that hole. So I'm just gonna hit my generic shot, left chest, get nice and low. I think that's pretty close to 6 feet. That was really good. Lots of spin on that one, which we love. One more. That one was a little bit chunkier, but it's gonna release some. Again, I think that's actually pretty close to within 6 feet. I would be very happy with those on the golf course. And finally, I've got a bonus drill for you. You've probably been wondering what the heck that towel's been doing there during this segment. And one game that I love to play, because these shots can be kind of boring to just hit and practice for no reason. We need some intention. We need a little bit of stakes behind what we're doing. So I will use a towel or a range basket or something just outside the edge of the sand to work on those nice, high, soft shots, which can be very tricky for everybody to execute. And I will try and see if I can land them in the basket or on the towel. So let's test that out and see if we can make that happen. So when I'm gonna hit it high and soft, I mentioned feeling like I am using that red light speed, a little bit slower, but still that big swing. So let's see what we can make happen here. So that was a little too far. Let's adjust. Again, I'm gonna adjust using my speed. So I'm gonna go slower. Oh, that was perfect. I hit the edge of the towel. So that's another fun game you could do. Use a basket or a towel and just really work on getting those shots to come out really high and soft and closer to you versus carrying them too far, which is most people's tendency. Utilizing these tips is gonna make that generic greenside bunker shot so much easier for you. It's gonna give you a better chance at getting up and down, and it's going to help you shoot lower scores.